everybody, and welcome to another episode of Personal Training Unlocked with Matt Mangol. My name's Josh Shernoff, and I am joined, of course, by the one and only Matt Mangol. Mangol, what's up?
Not too much, man. Been working a long day here since 5 a.m. Little peek behind the curtain. It's now 5:05 p.m. So we're working here till 7, and we're recording. So it's great to be here with you. How was your appointment?
Oh, my appointment was good. I actually had a physical therapy appointment where they worked me out real good. Earlier today, I was packed tighter than I don't know what, but I was recording the Wrestling Hour podcast with Dave Sturcio. We had special guest Joe Hendry this week, and next week is going to be Eric Bischoff for all of our wrestling fans out there. Very excited about that as well. So it was a jam-packed day, a lot of fun. Then went over to PT. They did some work on my my old body to keep me in the gym, keep me going. And nothing wrong with spending some time taking care of your body. And that's kind of what we're here to talk about today because, man, it's been a long day for me, long day for you. So maybe it's time to talk to people about how we can wake our ass up, right? Except literally wake your ass up as in your glutes, your gluteus maximus, if you will.
Well, not just the gluteus maximus. You're talking about your minimus, your medius, and your gluteus maximus.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't talk about my medius on a podcast, but we can cover all of those muscles and talk all about the glutes because there is so much more to it than just a comfortable place for you to sit. And, we talked last week about the core. What was your feedback from last week talking about the core?
Some good feedback. A lot of people asked some questions, trying to get them to do it more officially through other channels. But it was good. Good feedback. People enjoyed the episode, wanted to learn more information about the core. I told them, we probably have to do it on a case-by-case basis unless we do another episode on it.
Sure we can.
But I think it was probably one of our more in-depth episodes. So if people try to keep it fairly scientific, but not get too deep in the weeds, kind of keep it really palatable. I think we did that.
And yeah, hey, listen, if you enjoyed it, we thank you to go over, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. I don't know what kind of review thing they do over with those Android people. But I'm assuming 5 stars there as well, if you think we deserved it. And yeah, of course, check out the My Fandom app. I know, Matt, you've been working with the Android version of the My Fandom app, testing. It's going well on that. So, if you're here, you're probably some form of a sports or pro wrestling or MMA or boxing fan. Not to say that those aren't sports, but yeah, My Fandom app is the best place to log your experiences. So as you can hear, hey, and I want to say right off the bat, as you can hear, you might hear a little bit of something in the background. That is because Matt Mangol is not pretend. Matt Mangol is an actual exercise physiologist, personal trainer. Mangol does it all and owns his own gym, which is where he is recording this. So you might even hear a little bit of clanging and banging in the background, if you will, right?
It wouldn't have it any other way, but I hope might hear some other things too, and Josh can edit out, but that's for another time.
Oh my,
okay. But we're here to talk about the glutes just because, look, the glutes are very important. People don't understand. It's not just about, how you look in a bathing suit or, how you fit in a pair of pants or not. What it is really the three main glute muscles. They're separate muscles, but you have your gluteus minimus, which is the deepest part. You have the gluteus medius, which kind of spans the back part of the pelvis there. And then you have the gluteus maximus, which spans all of it. The gluteus maximus tries to help out with many things, but has prime movements. It's probably the most important muscle of the glute area. But with the gluteus medius and minimus, you don't want to neglect them either. But those are your main stabilizing muscle groups for the glutes. So your minimus and your medius tend to be more of your abductor, internal rotation of the hip type muscles. And it's very important because you need that to stabilize when you're doing movements. When you think about glutes, you think about, people doing bridges, which is one of the movements that works the glutes. You think about people doing lunges, anything unilateral like that, or in that tandem type stance, a split squat, lunge, Bulgarian squat, really effective for working the glutes because you have that abductor-adductor stabilizing force that is challenging the gluteus medius and the minimus, but your maximus is involved the entire time. Josh, you've done some Bulgarian squats before.
I
They
have.
what better way to toast your glutes than that,
Oh
right?
man, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like you will feel this in everything you do, similar to the core in the sense that so many other movements of your body will affect this, I guess those movements affect this muscle, and this muscle affects those movements. So yeah, I mean the Bulgarian squats, man, those will get
Those,
you.
yeah,
Those will get
it's
you.
interesting while we're on this topic that everything hateful, be it good and bad or bad in the long run, tends to be an Eastern European name. Did you ever notice that? So you have Bulgarian squats, you got Romanian deadlifts, you have Turkish get-ups, which is a whole other movement,
Are you
which we can get.
suggesting that they're tougher over there? Because
I don't know,
maybe
man.
there's some people listening going, "Oh, America." So I don't know.
I know, but the thing is here, name one exercise that's named for any space in America. So what I'm saying is, I think we need to have a movement, if you will, to
There's
get
the
some kind
the
of patriotic exercises going on here.
Cleveland
Huh?
State. No, that's not a.
Well, that's a different movement for a completely different time,
I was
and for a
thinking movement. I was thinking
well,
movement
that
and
is a movement.
a
That's
movement.
that would probably section more towards your rectus abdominis area and your transverse abdominis and the core. Whereas today we're talking about the glutes, but we can talk about that off air, Josh, if you really want to. In Urban Dictionary, can be your friend or your enemy. Write that down.
Or your
So
frenemy.
the biggest thing too with the glutes is when people don't think about how many people out there have low back pain. All right. Now we talked about disuse, misuse, and just the body getting used to doing nothing, right? Like you can't expect to have full use of your musculature and look the way you want and this and that by not doing anything.
Right.
There's a pill popping culture we have, and you can't. There's no such thing as anything like that's going to help you with that. You have to put the time in. You have to put the effort in. Just get your 3 weeks, your 6 weeks, your 9 weeks, your foundational period of time to build those guys up. And when you're inactive, right, sedentary, you're sitting a lot, you're doing these different things, sitting in a car, sitting everywhere. Um, what happens is you end up having non-active tissue as part of that glute muscle area, right? Where it fills in that area, like fat tissue, for instance. So when that happens, you get some degradation of the actual tissue, atrophy of the muscle tissue, lack of stability. If that's happening, and then you need to use your back, you're helping your brother Tony move. You're whatever. You're helping somebody else carry something in the house or out of the trunk, right? Or you're doing the heroic move of trying to pick something up from your passenger side seat from outside your driver's side door, which is the biggest culprit, which really hammers people's backs.
Yeah, that can get you.
But what
Or
happens
you're
is,
trying to do your last set of
oh yeah, you
shrugs
pick it up.
at the
Yeah,
gym and you're picking
right.
up measly 45s and do yourself a complete mischief. So yeah.
Yeah, Josh. Well, you're on the mend. You're almost there. You're
I'm
almost
good.
100.
No, at this point, it's just kind of maintenance what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those listening, I injured my back such a freak way, but I think it was
Yep.
just not paying attention to the way I was lifting up those weights, thinking they're relatively light. This isn't that big of a deal. I'm just going to do, one more set of four. Like it was nothing, right? I did the 12, 10, 8, 6, 4 and just obliterated my low back, two herniated discs, a bulging disc, and discovered a compound fracture that there's no way it came from that movement.
No, that was
So
probably there. That was just the icing on the cake. Something was
mhm,
there, kind of like a tinderbox, if you will, and then something lit that flame,
yeah,
and it went. But so it's probably good that you uncovered it the way you did versus something else where you were out in the middle of nowhere, laid out on the floor, right?
yeah. At
I mean, at
least
least
here, at least here, I was in the gym, laid out on the floor, where
there are
everybody
people
just stepped
walking
over
around.
me, and yeah,
Right.
did
Shout
not
out to
care.
Elvis. Good people over there.
Yeah,
Very good people. Not really. But the some people maybe, most not. But we're getting back to so when your glutes are not functioning or as strong as they can be, what happens is your low back picks up the slack, and your low back is probably not where it should be to start off with anyway. So you're overworking the back. That's the most cause of low back issues, unless there's an actual acute trauma, like you're picking something up, like Josh happened. There's an accident, something like that. Other than that, it's usually almost 70-80% of the time probably from the glutes kind of just forgetting how to work. We talked about, wake your ass up. That's the name of the episode. um, I think there's a clinical term. It's probably not super clinical, but like, clinical once removed. like dead ass syndrome, like your
Yeah.
body, your
Clinical
glutes are,
adjacent. Yeah.
yes, exactly. Akimbo, if you will.
Oh.
Uh, anyway, so you haven't used the word akimbo. See, we're learning vocabulary. People helping any seniors with their vocabulary for the SATs. Anyway, so what happens is, where were we anyway? Low back issues. So, uh,
Well, so okay, so here's my question though, right? You
we're
you
getting somewhere.
mentioned you mentioned the around the world of various different squats and
Yeah. So,
things you can do. So what can we do to strengthen the
so on that, so we talked about the inactive tissue a second ago. So, like when you have decreased muscle size, increase of inactive tissue, that's going to lead to putting your joints and your bones in that area at more stress, right? If your muscles can't function the way they're supposed to as like the main shock absorber, so that very little gets down to the bone level. You still want to get down to the bone level to stimulate some, but you don't want to overuse and hammer. That ends up creating osteoarthritis, pain in the hip, things like that, right?
sure.
So strengthening exercises are very important, but they also have to be kind of individual specific. You can go around and see like your gym influencers, if you will, online, and they show different things. But is that how you should be doing it? Is that what you're ready for based upon what you've done, or is that like C and you need to do A and B first? So you need to reach out when you have that predicament to ptunlocked at gmail.com. Ask questions to yours truly. That's what I'm here for. We have people on the treadmill over here. People are working out. This is what I do. This is what I've done for 23 years and can hopefully,
Somebody just
God
hit the
willing, do it
bell,
for more.
achieve their
Yeah,
goal.
definitely. Well, that's a warm up, I think.
Oh,
Now the work continues, but the fact of the matter is, you gotta do the right, lay the right foundation. So we talked about this endlessly to get to where you want to be and maybe do those exercises, but maybe you can do those exercises, but you should be doing them a certain way. Exercises mainly that do work are Bulgarian squats, which is a higher level advanced exercise. Done the proper way can be very effective. I use them a lot for, I run, I do trail running, I do Spartan races up in the hills. So the thing is, I need that strength. One of the main staples in my leg exercise routine, not saying that you need to do what I do. I'm not one of those people. I'm just saying, generally speaking, in my experience, Bulgarian squats are very good if you can handle it at some point, very advanced exercise. But on the other range of things that everyone can do, bridges, right? A bridge with the band around the knees where you create some extra tension in your abductors and then you're going through the range of motion of the hip extension. Tremendous multi-level glute exercise, but you're also including stretching. There's a stretch in your quads, and there's also some work in your low back. Very good
tell me again, how
exercise.
does that work with the band? Kind of walk
So
people through that for
band,
the
let's take
audio.
most bands, and I gave you some videos last week you can put up regarding the core routine.
Yep,
I'll demonstrate.
those will be up there by the time you're listening to this. Those will be up there.
I'll demonstrate the bridges. I'll demonstrate hip thrusters. I'll demonstrate kettlebell swings using the glutes the proper way. Goblet squats, which are one of them, but sumo squat in general, any squat done the right way, done with control, can work the glutes. I'll give you some versions of those. Lateral lunges or side lunges, tremendous. Again, if you have the flexibility in your groin and so on, and you're ready for that, a very good exercise. And then other there's simpler movements you can do, like a body weight movement. So again, I'll show you this in video form, but let's say you're kneeling down on the ground, 1 foot out in front, so like a single knee bend, right? From that position, you bring your you're in that. So actually, start in the double knee position, put the leg out in front for the single knee bend, right? Then prop up into a stationary lunge. Come back down, put the knee down, switch the legs in front, come up, come down, stationary lunge, where you're moving the feet each time. That's a great stabilizing exercise that you can do. You can even do it with your hand on the chair next to you, buffering it a little bit, but that's a good exercise that anybody can do in some form. Body weight anywhere, you don't need a lot of space. So I'll probably start with that one, and then I'll work up to the Bulgarian squats at the end of the videos that we show you. Someone's going to town on the treadmill here, like a
Good. That's what we want to hear. That's
that's
it.
that's what we're here for.
That's it. Yeah. This isn't Matt's gym is not the gym where you go and you hang out and chat with people. It's the gym where you go to work, put the
that's
work
this
in.
one.
What is it?
This one here.
What?
You can't see it.
No. What is this? What are you showing me? Judgment. Oh, Planet Fitness.
But hold on,
Yeah.
hold on. Look, the truth be told, look, a great place, very clean. One thing with that is it's a judgment free zone, but they have clearly, and I'm gonna take a picture of this too, and I'll find a picture of it and put it up. The judgment free zone, unless you're a lunk,
Yeah, they judge you.
they have a billboard. Now I don't know if you've ever advertised on a billboard, Josh. I haven't. I don't even know how to go about that, but they
I
got one made,
I can
and
hook you up with a guy. I got a billboard
they,
guy.
yeah, they put it up in the gym, and it's got an alarm, which I've never heard go off,
Oh, I
but
have.
oh, okay. Hold on. We'll get there. So anyway, it says, da 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 da, and has a good quote like, "You are a lunk if you carry a jug of water around. You wear a string or tank top. You wear boots and jeans in the gym. Fine." Since then, I have seen people in a bodysuit. Uh, it, anyway, go down the river there. But the thing is, it's a judgment-free zone unless you're a lunk. But then they're judging you, but it's a judgment-free zone. So that's irony there,
First of
folks,
all,
for
bring a
you.
jug of water with you. Being
Yes.
hydrated is the one of the best things you could possibly do. Everything that you ever talk about on this show, if you're dehydrated, it's going to be
Yeah.
that much more difficult. That's so. I mean, come on. Well, you saw me
Hyd-
drinking water right here. I was doing that. I'm drinking water. I was just in
Hydration is-
PT. That's another thing. And Matt, maybe this is kind of off topic, but we can talk about that. I just was drinking water because it's important, especially after physical therapy.
Sure.
Or a workout or anything like that, or a massage, even flush your system out.
Well, the biggest thing is we'll talk about maybe another episode, but maybe the next one it could be. Maybe we'll put a survey up regarding the electrolytes importance.
Okay.
Very important, overlooked aspect, but it's been more in the news recently. Electrolytes help you. They're basically the positively and negatively charged ions, so like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and so on, which kind of usher water into cells. So as you're sweating and you're losing sodium and other things are getting imbalanced, if that balance is off, your electrolyte balance, as you hear all the time, is off, you're not going to absorb all the water you're taking in and you just pee it right out. So with that said, salt is not a bad thing. Salt is the most important mineral that your body can have. There's all this nonsense from this low salt stuff and the cholesterol stuff, which we'll get into a whole other down in the weeds episodes another time. But electrolytes, you need them. You need to take them in. Salt's not bad, so that you can absorb the water you take in. So you can drink water and still be dehydrated. As bizarre as that is, if the electrolytes are off, your sodium's low, you're not absorbing that water. So once a day, having some source of electrolytes specifically, be it the company I use is LMNT, they're good. A simpler one, Noon, Nuun. You can find it anywhere. Little tablets, 5 calories. You drop it in at least one of your bottles of water a day. Drink it. It'll keep you balanced out, especially if you're sweating your butt off. So something to think about. We'll get there another time.
Yeah,
but electrolytes, hydration, very important. And if you're going to exercise, that's one of the main things you have to have in your body. You wouldn't not put oil in your car. What happens? You get trapped like our friend Biz did, and the car's smoking up in Ben Salem. It happened. Yeah, never seen that before.
Biz carries around a water bottle at the gym.
But he's not a lunk.
No.
Because we don't judge people. We don't judge people here.
No,
Any question?
That was what I was going to say. It went off when this was years ago at Planet Fitness when the one first opened around me. And I mean, we're talking well over a decade ago. And I went in there and I was doing, I want to say, for some reason, I want to say like Smith machine shrugs or something.
Oh, no. And you racked the bar, didn't you?
I racked the bar.
Well, there you put the weights back.
What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to, this is metal on metal, and they set off the alarm. And I
What's the alarm?
What's the
alarm sound?
Like a giant, like.
Oh, hold on. So they went with that one versus just like a flashing light and like a beeping.
No, they went with like a big thing to try and like embarrass you for lifting heavy weights. Here's the thing, though, that
the judgment-free zone.
Yeah, it's a bunch of crap. It's supposed to be, all of that is geared towards, hey, do you want to come here and just do a bunch of cardio and don't have to deal with people in shape.
It's clean. It's reasonably priced. They're everywhere. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But
let people work out.
But like the lunk thing, I've never seen it in operation, and I think it's pretty much known now. Like you could probably do away with that.
Yeah, like dude, we've also seen like We've seen at the gym where you have your people who are like screaming and
Oh,
yeah, and then
sure,
they're and they're they're pushing all that. Dude, there's no
sure.
place. It's like shut up. No one need
If
it's
you need to grunt a
enough.
little bit, that's fine. But
Yeah,
there's
but not at
grunting.
LA Fitness.
They're trying to.
No,
There's
that's
like
not
being
that kind of gym. You know what I mean? Like, so I get that at Planet Fitness. If you want to be like, hey, you're disturbing other people,
sure.
I wasn't disturbing anybody by racking my weights. If anything, I was I was racking my weights. Like that's like, come
That's
on,
good.
let's
That's one of the gym etiquette things we talked about
yeah,
in episode 2, right?
yeah,
Cool, man. So I
yeah,
think we hit
man.
the glute
So
today. I will send you those videos. I'll have some time soon to put them together and send them to you and edit them up. And then Josh will throw up the first 4 core exercise beginner suggestions, which I will also add to this week. We're going to give you a 4 to 6 week progression with the core stuff as far as safe building to a good place. Glute wise, we'll give you some just specific fine points about the movements that we talked about today, do's and don'ts. You can edit that up too. You have a lot of jobs to do there, Mr. Editor Man.
yeah,
So
man.
it's
Hey, we've got. I know there's at least one video done. We're trying to keep them to each video to be under a minute so that they can, because that's how YouTube will allow them as reels.
yeah, man.
So we're doing that. So you might find them under a minute there as a part one, part two. You might find them as a full video on on the PT Unlocked Instagram or Twitter or anything like that. So yeah, man. So
Cool.
that's about it. We hope we helped you to wake your ass up and
Get that ass going, people, and
yeah.
ask questions, ask questions. 5-star reviews, 5-star reviews, 5-star reviews.
Yeah, man, that's what we need to keep this thing going. And we really appreciate everybody who tuned in so far and tuned in today. And stick with us because we will be back again next week for another episode of Personal Training Unlocked with Matt Mangol.
Take care, Josh. Keep on lifting, everybody.